Hi there, welcome to another informative journey inside Jamaica Magazine. I'm your host, Theodore Henry. Coming up, what you need to know about national disaster shelters. Please stay with us for this and so much more after this important message.
I wonder who that somebody be. No, sir. Let me look for my glasses. Oh, that somebody look like right, sir.
It's Lottie, what go on?
Me glad for see you, right. Although things never go on for you, America, me glad say you there.
Yes.
Lift your head high.
Yes.
Stay out of trouble.
Yes.
And you can have a fresh start back home.
All right, Mr. V. Thanks, you hear?
Let's all work together for a fresh start back home.
This message is brought to you by the Office of the Prime Minister.
Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JS News for Monday, June 9, 2025. 285 high-definition CCTV cameras are now operational across sections of West Kingston, namely Denham Town, Waltham and the Downtown Business District. The government has invested $300 million on the surveillance cameras, which were mounted over a one-year period. The cameras will provide 24-hour live feed, 7 days per week, into the Denham Town Jamaica Eye Monitoring Center, which was officially opened by the Minister of National Security, Dr. Horace Chang, at the Denham Town Police Station last Thursday. The increased visibility is expected to help officers detect suspicious behavior, monitor hotspots, and respond to incidents with greater speed and precision.
The cameras are there to add to the safety of the community and to bring about a new level of surveillance by our police officers. It's part of the wider sustained investment, of course, to modernize how we approach law enforcement, crime prevention and public safety across Jamaica. And through this and other initiatives, we are providing our police officers with the tools to get the job done.
Minister Desmond McKenzie, who is the Member of Parliament for West Kingston, welcomed the installation of the CCTV cameras and the opening of the monitoring centre.
I think this will significantly improve the quality of policing. It will allow the residents to have more confidence in the work of the security forces. And this, for me, is one of the greatest achievements that we could ever have here in West Kingston.
The Denham Town facility is the 9th Jamaica Eye Monitoring Centre operating in the country, and more will be brought on stream across the island. All facilities will feed into the C5 Centre, which serves as the central hub for managing surveillance, dispatch and national security data. Cocoa farmers in Clarendon have received vital supplies from the Ministry of Agriculture to help combat the destructive frosty pod rot disease and boost crop production. The support package includes fungicides, fertilizers, and essential farming tools such as reaping hooks, mist blowers, pruners, saws, and brush cutters. These resources are expected to be shared among farmers in the parish to enhance their efforts in containing the fungal disease. The handover ceremony took place at the Clarendon RADA office, with the equipment set to benefit more than 2,000 farmers.
We're here to ensure that we're not just talking about pest management, we're not just talking about putting the farmers at the forefront, but we're actively ensuring that it is done. This year we are going for rapid expansion. We want you to continue to infuse all that you've learned in relation to the management of the cocoa frosty pod, but we have to now drive back the production because the demand is there tremendously and the prices are not bad at all.
Through RADA, farmers are also receiving training to better manage the disease in their fields. Acting CEO of RADA, Garnet Edmondson, says the tools are part of efforts to modernize how farmers respond to pests and protect their crops.
These tools today will empower, no doubt, and galvanize the type of support that is needed around the fight of the frosty pod disease. This is a very important part of what we do and must continue if we are to sustain cocoa development throughout Jamaica.
Energy Minister Darrell Vaz is urging stakeholders in the solar energy sector to prioritize system resilience as they prepare for the 2025 Atlantic hurricane season, which runs from June 1 to November 30. The minister's remarks were delivered by Technical Support Officer in the Ministry, Donnery Muirhead, at the recent Fosrich and Partners Solar Energy Expo held at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel in Kingston.
Minister Vaz is urging all our solar partners and customers to go beyond installation, prioritize resilience. Ensure that your solar systems are built to withstand storms with security battery storage, durable mounting, and, importantly, contingency plans. Clean energy must not only power our progress, but guess what? Protect our people in times of crisis.
Highlighting progress in the sector, Minister Vaz points out that Jamaica improved its ranking on the Bloomberg NEF Climate Scope Index in 2024, rising 8 spots to 39th out of 105 countries. The index evaluates countries based on their attractiveness for clean energy investment. The Ministries of Health and Education recently hosted a child conversation wellness bench lime in Runaway Bay, St. Anne, to educate teens on stress management and mental well-being. The event, led by the Ministry of Health's Child and Adolescent Mental Health Unit, engaged students in wellness-focused activities and discussions. In a video message, Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, reassured students of the government's support amid growing mental health challenges.
We are here to support you in the face of pressures from social media, family and peer expectations, as well as navigating school life among other areas. The struggle we know is real, but you should know that you are not alone, but also that there is help available if you need it.
Minister Tufton also encouraged students to utilize the on-site wellness bench, a symbol of creating safe spaces for young people to talk and seek support. Regional 3 Director Carleen Segri emphasized the Education Ministry's stance on protecting children's rights.
As a Ministry of Education, we stand with our children. Without the children, we have no school. Without the children, we have no jobs. And so we are really condemning all the acts that have been taking place in recent times against children, against our boys and against our girls across Jamaica.
And finally, Transport Minister Darrell Vaz has issued a renewed call for national action to reduce road fatalities. The call comes as reports point to 165 lives lost on Jamaica's roads as of June 4, despite a slight decrease compared to the previous year. Speaking at the official launch of Road Safety Month 2025, the minister stressed that road safety was a shared responsibility among all Jamaicans. The month-long observance is being held under the theme, Obey the Code, Respect the Road.
It is widely recognized that despite having fewer vehicles, developing countries account for a higher proportion of global road fatalities. Therefore, today's launch serves as a declaration that as business owners, transport operators, public officials, civil servants, parents, and citizens, we must come together to confront the ongoing crisis of road traffic injuries and fatalities in our country.
Minister Vaz also reminded road users to follow traffic rules.
The moment we all decide to make road safety our personal and collective priority, not just for 30 days, but for every day, for every road, and for every life. Let us each be a road model, not a role model, a road model. Let us set the example. Because behind every fatality is a name, a face, a future that should have been continued. Let us drive for them, walk for them, and live for them.
And that's it for JS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.
I'm Karina Powell-Hood. We've been planning for months
And now we're ready to share more of the essence of who we are. At the JCF Transformations, People, Quality and Technology Expo 2.0. Coming June 19 to 22nd at the National Arena in Kingston and at the Montego Bay Community College. Come, see, experience what you've been hearing about your transforming police force.
The phased reoccupation of the main building at the Cornwall Regional Hospital in St. James has started, with the admin staff now back in their beautifully refurbished space. Follow us for a walkthrough of the hospital's administrative department and see the re-entry process and build-out that's in progress.
In April 2025, the Cornwall Regional Hospital in Montego Bay, St. James achieved a significant milestone on its journey to renewal with the start of phased reoccupation of the main building. The opening of the administrative department on the main building, which is in its final phase of comprehensive rehabilitation, provides a view of the modern look and feel all other areas of the facility will exhibit on completion. Key features of the work on the facility include improved ventilation and lighting systems, upgraded IT infrastructure to support efficient operation, and enhanced accessibility features to staff and visitors. Modernized office space to promote productivity and staff rejuvenation is also provided.
Some may argue why we start with administration, why not with ward space? The truth is that a plant requires management in the first instance, because all the moving parts have to be coordinated. And to put in ward space without having a kind of management coordination and presence or an IT system to track records and to ensure that the overarching coordination takes place would make it a bigger logistics challenge than it would be otherwise. So we're really starting where we need to start, deliberately so, as part of phasing in the full-fledged operation of the institution.
This ultra-modern, comfortable environment with all new furnishings will now house the Office of the Chief Executive Officer, accounting, procurement, office management, and general administrative services. The block also features additional critical facilities to include a kitchenette, restrooms, reception, and waiting areas. It is expected to boost morale and enhance staff's ability to serve patients more effectively.
This moment represents a significant step. Our dedicated administrative team will now be able to work together under one roof and on the one compound, strengthening our capacity to serve both our staff and patients more effectively. I want to acknowledge the unwavering support of the community and the staff, the Ministry of Health and Wellness, the Western Region Health Authority, and all our partners whose hard work and resilience has brought us to this day.
It's a lot of humility that we come here to celebrate. The small wins that combined will become the big win. And the big win obviously means a win, not just for the staff who are here, but for the people, importantly, who will benefit. Today is a good day in public health.
According to the Minister of Health and Wellness, it's a transformation that epitomizes modernity and a model to replicate in healthcare across the country, including the new Western Child and Adolescent Hospital being built next door on the Cornwall Regional Compound.
We know this is the final phase, but also still a journey that we have to travel. And so we're under no illusions that the work is complete.
The rehabilitation of the main building at Cornwall Regional Hospital was triggered following a ventilation problem and further detection of leaking pipes, faulty electrical system, and damage to the roof and support structure of the building.
When we talk about doing it right, the government of the day said, abandon the patchwork. let us just build a new Cornwall Regional Hospital. So we went back to the drawing board, brought in the architects, brought in the engineers, hired overseas support, and we rescoped the project. And as a result of that rescoping, we have determined an estimate of some 23.5 billion, which includes all new equipment.
The main building was stripped down to the bare bones, with all windows and doors removed, electrical and piping systems, roof and chimney cleared for replacement with all new material and furnishing. Critical repairs were also done to correct structural damage. With the admin department first to be back on the block operating, several other departments and services are on the schedule for phased reopening over the next year. These include a server room, medical records, general stores, dietary services, and wards. The facility will also have a new maternity suite, intensive care unit, accident and emergency department, and nursery and operating theaters. It is to be outfitted with new technology and infection prevention control finishes. All furnishing and equipment to outfit the building will be new, including diagnostic machines. The extensive repairs and overhaul of the hospital will total some $23.5 billion, including the cost for relocation of services and the restoration of the main building, set for completion in the first quarter of 2026.
$1.8 billion has been spent to ensure that service provision continued outside of the main building. So that's what was spent to double the Mount Salem Clinic to be a proper accident and emergency, establish the diagnostic center, convert the nurses' quarters into inpatient care, set up the 2 additional operating theaters down at Falmouth. That was spent in a way to preserve the services, but indirectly also expanding the quality of service provision in the region. To date, $3.9 billion has been spent on the main building, and that building out continues.
In 2023, many of you told us how pleasantly surprised you were with our first Transformations Expo. Be prepared to be amazed at Transformations Expo 2.0, People, Quality and Technology, coming from 2 locations at the National Arena in Kingston and simultaneously at the Montego Bay Community College from Thursday, June 19 to Sunday, June 22. Bring your friends, bring your family. I'm looking forward to meeting you.
BGLC, the regulatory body. We regulate, you play without worry. We regulate, you play. BGLC, fair play when you play. For the fun of the game, you know we're there. BGLC, keep it fair for the player. You play the game and we are the rules setter. Keep everything fair so the game play better. The Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission. We ensure fairness, integrity and responsible gaming practices. Keep the game fair and fun for everyone. We regulate, you play.
We're in the Atlantic hurricane season, and as we observe Disaster Preparedness Month in June, we want to direct your attention to emergency shelters. These are usually set up as safe places for people who may become displaced from their homes during a natural disaster. We learn all we need to know about emergency shelters in this next feature.
It doesn't always have to be a hurricane. A disaster can strike at any time, natural or man-made, and you may not be thinking about a shelter. But shelters are a critical part of the government's disaster plan to ensure the safety of citizens in the event of a natural or man-made catastrophe. Let's rewind a little. Do you know the nearest shelter in your community?
We use schools as shelters, community centers, churches, All of these are utilized for the purpose of assisting persons that would need accommodation in times of emergencies. And so that is the role of the shelter. In terms of the number of shelters that we have, it could be in the region over 900, about 900 shelters that we have across Jamaica.
We always grab our phones when we're in trouble. And this time we are searching for the nearest emergency shelter on the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management ODPEM website. Select the Shelters tab, choose your parish, then download the listing to see all available shelters in or near your community. You can also browse the interactive map and click on the red dots to identify the shelters. ODPEM also updates its website with the new shelter listings once the annual inspections are completed.
The reason for this is because sometimes some schools can be removed from the listing, and so we would need to, of course, have that information properly and well communicated for persons to be able to know what to do when it is time to go to a shelter. Disaster shelters are activated in two ways. They're done nationally and they're done at the parish level, parish or community specific, for parish or community specific impacts. Now, large-scale hurricanes, for example, when we have lead time, so sometimes when we're tracking these storms and we have lead time 2 or 3 days, then the shelter managers are activated, right, alerted through the parish mechanism. And so they are on standby to open the shelters. So informing the public, that is done through the formal mechanism of press releases that are sent to media houses to let, of course, persons know that shelters are activated, and persons should, of course, go to their nearest shelter. The ODPEM also passes information about shelter activation through our various other social media handles, the Facebook and Twitter and all of the others. And of course, where communities are generally impacted all the time, these persons know their shelters, they know their shelter managers, and so, the information is kind of fluid.
Good afternoon. My name is Rosemary Livingston.
Good afternoon, Ms. Livingston. I'm Chevelle.
I'm here to tell you, Chevelle, the things you should take to the shelter and what you should not take. Okay? You can carry stuff like tin sardine, tin mackerel. You can have a little lemonade drinks, oats, and your biscuit, and your lasco, and your wipes, your clothes. Make sure you come with your sanitary napkin.
Do I have to put the clothes in a plastic bag?
Yes, in case of there is rain, you have them in the plastic bags. You come with your medication. And if you have children, you carry the medication. So you plastic them. What you should not take to the shelter: no knife, no cigarettes, no pets, and no bad behavior.
Okay, that is it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
The COVID-19 pandemic shifted emergency shelter operations with an added focus on keeping persons safe from transmissible diseases. Shelter managers are trained to observe COVID-19 protocols, and this includes having an isolation area. The safety of every emergency shelter is paramount, and this means that shelter rules must be followed.
This government, since 2016, have made arrangements that once the shelters are occupied, we will provide food supplies for persons within the shelters. So the rules that are laid out are clear. It is written all over the board. You see it. Shelter rules.
Emergency shelters are also being retrofitted to provide better mobility for disabled persons. Shelter managers across all parishes are trained each year and provided with refresher trainings in an ongoing program. According to the International Federation of Red Cross and Red Crescent Societies, IFRC, disaster preparedness isn't just the right thing to do, it's the smart thing to do.
Given our realities, some communities are vulnerable, and so the shelters would definitely not be in such a vulnerable location. And so where those cases exist, there is an arrangement at the municipal corporation level where the vulnerable population is actually transported to these shelters.
Children are the future, and ensuring our future is healthy requires that children are always provided with nutritious foods to grow well and live long. Unhealthy diets high in sugar, salt, and fat consumed by children may make them obese and prone to non-communicable diseases later in life. Healthy foods and beverages not only help them learn better, but also protects them from non-communicable diseases such as some cancers, diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular diseases in their childhood and adult life. So, whether it's at home, in the lunch bag, or at school, let's make healthy foods and beverages for our children the only rule.
Preventing heart attacks and strokes starts with simple routine steps in our daily lives. Stay active. Aim for at least 30 minutes of exercise each day. Eat a balanced diet with more fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, and avoid foods high in salts, sugar, and fats. Maintain a healthy weight and avoid smoking. Manage your stress, cholesterol, and blood pressure, and get regular checkups with your doctor.
Our half-hour journey through the pages of Jamaica Magazine ends right here for today. But please, join us again tomorrow on this station for more news, features, and information you can use to live, work, raise families, do business, and of course, retire in paradise. In the meantime, visit our website, jis.gov.jm for this and other offerings. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Theodore Henry. Until next time, take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.